welcome back to the Pen and Inkwell. Thank you for joining us again this afternoon. It is a really depressing day here in South Wales. It's the middle of summer. It is currently the 3rd of July and it's awful. It's just like a winter's day. It's windy, it's not particularly nice, but hey ho, we had a few nice days about a month ago and that's probably our summer here in the UK, all done and dusted already. But there are some beautiful and wonderful things about living here, but that doesn't matter to anybody right now. What is important is this. I've got a pen to have a quick look at, not so much review, but just to give you a quick overview of them, because this is another pen by Twiss, who I've reviewed a pen of his before, my Lilac Swirl pen, which I absolutely adore. And I have a new one as well that I had for my birthday last week that I picked up at the Midlands pen show. That was it a few weeks ago, but I got that last week for my birthday. So those of you that follow me on Instagram will have already seen pictures of that pen. Absolutely love the material. But this is another one that John has very kindly given us to have a look at and to give you an overview of. And then what's going to happen with this now? I'm reviewing this today. It's to say it's Sunday the 3rd of July. I'm hoping to get this video out over the next couple of days. Happy 4th of July to those of you over in America for tomorrow, or if you're watching this tomorrow, whenever that may be. But what's going to happen now in this pen, I'm going to send this pen on to Ian Headley at Pens, Paper, Pencils, who's also going to do a review of this, a lovely written review of this, which will be posted on his website. And then it's going to go over to Rob Smith, and he is going to have a look at this and review this on his website as well. And then hopefully we'll feature this then on the United Inkdom post. But what we're going to do is this pen is going to be given away to one of you. So you are in a very fortunate position to have the opportunity to win and be given a Twiss pen. And this one is quite different and I really like it. It's sort of quite traditional yet a little sort of it's odd in a way. I have not been able to describe this pen really. It's sort of, you know, it's got a sort of vintage feel to the material and the pattern on this material, which you'll see in a moment. You'll probably understand why I can't quite describe it. But I've been writing with this all week and I've really loved the way it writes. Extremely lightweight pen. So what I've got here, it's this pen here. So this is a Twiss pen, mixture of materials. I'm going to go through it all with you now in just a moment. I'm going to turn the camera around. One day I'd love to be able to do a video all sort of front facing, but it doesn't really work well enough, it's not close enough. And I'll also give you a quick look at this that my mother made for me for my birthday. Thank you very much, Mum, which I'm very, very happy about. It's fantastic. So let me stop rambling now. As far as the giveaway details are concerned, I don't know what that will be yet. So what I'm going to do is keep an eye on my Instagram account at Inkwell Pens, and we'll be posting the details on there. Myself and Ian and Rob will have a bit of a chat as to how that giveaway will occur and where it'll be posted. But I'll be posting details of that on my Instagram site at Inkwell Pens, and again it'll be on Twitter under the same title at Inkwell Pens. So keep an eye out for the giveaway. That's probably going to happen in the next couple of weeks by the time I've had a chance to get around Ian and Rob and they've had the chance to do their reviews, and then we'll post the giveaway. So thank you very much right now, before I forget at the end, to Twiss for giving us this pen to be able to give away to you viewers and you, the readers of the blogs. And I'm going to stop talking, we'll turn the camera around and you can have a look at this in much more detail. So welcome back. So let's have a look at this in much more detail, and I've also got a lot more detail for you about the material of this pen, rather than me sort of guesstimating everything. I've actually went to the experts, so I've got the full data on this. So this is how pens from Twiss arrive, in this beautiful handmade wooden box. Reminds me a bit of a pencil case that I used to have. I probably said that on the last video, but I love these. So there's the Twiss logo, handcrafted in England, Twiss pens, and this slides off. Then in here then we have business card, John Twiss, and then the pen is in this sort of velvet feel pouch. So what I've got in here, I've got the pen, I'm just going to put that down a second, but what I also have in here, and for, you know, for purposes of the sort of giveaway really, and for purposes of sort of knowing how easy this is, let me put these two out of the way. I have 2 spare nibs. So there's a fine nib in the pen at the moment because that's always my preference. There's also a medium nib and a 1.1 nib. So when this goes from me to Ian, I can guarantee that this fine nib will come out and the 1.1 will go in. And then hopefully by the time then it goes to Rob, or even Ian will try the medium, you'll have an idea of how each of these nibs write with this pen. I've got the fine nib in, as I said, always my preference. So here it is. Let's see if I can zoom in a little closer. So a beautiful, beautiful material that I've been calling Lizard, and do you know what? It's quite good. I'm quite glad that I have been calling it Lizard because that's exactly what it is called. It's called Lizard Skin. So just give you a bit of background on this material. So if you have a look, it is exactly like a lizard skin. And the fact that it's green makes it look even more like that, really. So this is a vintage cellulose acetate, and this comes from the this is a sort of material that was from the 1930s, 1940s. And it was discovered in a chateau in Le Mans by a couple of renowned UK pen people, pen enthusiasts. So they brought it all back to England, and it's now being sold by a particular workshop here in the UK, up in Newcastle, which is fantastic. And this one, as I said, is called Lizard Skin, and this is the green one. It comes in a few other colours as well, but this green was used by Parker in some of their pens. So it really has, as I said, there has that vintage feel to it, but I think it has a bit of a modern edge to it as well. And I think it's this, even though this clip, it's a bit sort of retro, it's quite short, it's quite a short clip, very functional clip, but quite a short clip, makes it look vintage with a bit of an edge to it. So let me tell you a bit about these pens, just stats wise now. So it's an extremely lightweight pen. This is ink, this is fully inked in the converter, and this is 17 grams in weight and 11 grams without the cap on. So among the lightest pens that I own. You know, for example, one of the last videos I did when I had a look at this Clio Scribbert, the Ebonite pen, that was 31 grams with the cap on and 18 grams without. So to say, this is a very, very lightweight pen. Measurements wise, this is 139 millimeters as you're looking at it now, and without the cap it's 129 millimeters. So standard size, length pen, nice pen. I haven't given you the measurement for posting it. You can't post it. It doesn't post. Right, so coming on to sort of my thoughts on this pen. We have black finials, the top and bottom, which I think really complements it. Gives it that sort of, you know, I think it gives it a slightly more modern sort of look to it, the fact that it's got this black thing to it as well. Right, this is a Twiss cap, and it is a Twiss cap. I think it's about 6 turns to get that cap off completely. So this is extremely secure. Take that cap away, and what you'll notice now is there's a different section to it. And if I'm correct, I read on John Twiss's Facebook page earlier that this is an ebonite material. It's a different material to the rest of it, if you can see on here. This has got this lovely striped pattern to it, which as you turn it changes the colour of it, and it has these light green tones and then it becomes this very dark bottled green, and I think it complements this lizard skin pattern on the rest of this body very, very well. As I said, cartridge converter, filling system, international cartridges. So you can fill this with, you know, it gives you such a wide range of options for different colour inks if you want to use cartridges. But it comes with a converter. And then here we go, the steel nibs. So these are steel Jowo nibs. And this one, as I said, is a fine nib. And it's a lovely, lovely, beautifully smooth nib. Very pretty looking, and it's got the Twiss logo on the nib there and the F for the fine. Isn't that really nice? So as I said, holds in the hand very, very comfortably. The grip section, it's got a nice angle to hold onto that. And I've been doing an awful lot of writing with this week. I've been journaling a fair bit and using this pen to do so. And I've been really, really pleased with that. The nib, super smooth, fine nib. It's not overly wet, it's not a wet nib, but it isn't dry at all either. So I'll do a quick writing sample with this now, so you can see this. I've forgotten my Roger dot pad, so we'll do it in here. So here we go. I know this sounds a bit odd, but I'm trying to get it in position. I'll post a picture later on my Instagram channel of how I sort of set up and do some of these videos, and you'll see why this is all a bit awkward doing these writing samples. Because I don't have a wonderful tripod that does these overhead shots, it's all a bit of a sort of mismatch. So here we go. So this is Twiss pen. And this one is called Green Lizard. So I've got a hair on there. And this one is a fine nib, steel. Ink-wise, one of my favourites, Diamine Kelly Green. Beautiful colour, but as you can see around this nib, if you can, it does create a bit of sort of nib creep and around it. It can dry up a little bit, which is what's led to that splurge a bit at the top there. A bit close, you can see that. So as you see, wonderfully, wonderfully smooth nib. I've never had an issue with, this is the third pen by John Twiss that I've had now, and I haven't had a single issue with any of these nibs, and they're all steel nibs, the ones that I've personally had, and had, as I say, no skipping, no jumping, no hard starts, no problem whatsoever. I've inked them up and they've written straight away. As saying, these are steel nibs, and yes, they're not cheap pens as far as the fact that it has a steel nib in it, but the craftsmanship that goes into these pens and the time that is spent on them, you can really tell that it's done by somebody that knows what they're doing and loves what they're doing. So here we go. So we've got, these are, there's no variation in this. These are sort of nail-like nibs, very, very hard nibs. I don't think there's anything else for me to say. As I said, keep an eye out please on my Instagram channel at Inkle Pens, and I'll give you the details of this giveaway. But just bear in mind, this is your chance to get hold of a John Twiss pen, and this one particularly is special because this is, you know, John spends some time sort of looking into different pens and modelling them off some really sort of vintage, traditional looking pens, and this is one of those. If there's anything else you want to know, please just ask me a question. If I don't know the answer, I won't pretend to, but I'll find somebody that absolutely does. And to say, so there's going to be 2 other nibs with this, a 1.1 and a medium, so you'll be able to have your preference of nibs there to be able to use and to play around with. Thank you very much again. I've sort of run out of things to say really. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Bye!